Hello, my friends. So this is another installment in Clover taking a day to catch up on some blind testing of some of Philip's proposed gas puzzles. So I think I mentioned this in my last video. I'm not sure how the order that they're going to get posted in is necessarily going to work out, so I'll just also tell you here. Um, I unusually have not seen these puzzles before. This is actually me just kind of testing them to get a sense of whether they're appropriate to go into gas. And if they are, you will see this as your video. But hopefully this is an interesting opportunity for you guys to see a little bit about how I might approach a puzzle as somebody who's interested in speed solving the first time I ever see it, how I might kind of identify what things stand out and how I might kind of like pick an approach on the fly. So hopefully you find that interesting, and hopefully that makes up for not necessarily having as structured of a walkthrough as usual. So I don't know the title or date of this one. I will tell you in the description below this video when Philip has posted this, but I do know this is a really beautiful visual theme, which is something that Philip has become known for. We have this heart shape, and this is an anti-king Sudoku. And what that means is that we have normal Sudoku rules. So we're placing the digits 1 through 9, once each, in each row, each column, and each outlined 3x3 region. And in addition to that, identical digits can never touch each other diagonally. So for instance, it would not be permitted for those both to be 5 because those would be breaking the anti-king rule by touching each other diagonally, even though they follow Sudoku rules. Let's give it a try. So the first thing I see here, and this is kind of a common structure, maybe not specifically common in gas, but common in classic and kind of classic adjacent Sudoku variants. I have this row where there are 2 digits in a region that block those 2 digits out of a large part of the row. And then these digits block 7 and 9 out of the rest of the row, meaning that I know right away that these are going to be 7 and 9 because there's nowhere else to place a 7 or 9 in row 2. And I'm going to identify now what other digits I put in this row. So I have 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 9. I still need 3, 4, and 8. So I have 4 and 8 here, so that's a 3. That's going to be a 4, and that will be an 8. Now it's gas, so I'm going to look for kind of a follow-up on that, because we try to design these to flow and to not require a lot of time or energy kind of hunting for the next move. So I have 2 3s here and a 3 there. So 3 is in one of those cells. I have 2 4s here and a 4 there. So 4 is in one of those cells. That's not giving me anything just yet. I have 2 4s here, so 4 is going to be in one of those. I have 2 2s here. Maybe that's not necessarily the direction that I need to be going in. So let's think a little bit harder. So what else do we have here? Interestingly, I'm not really seeing opportunities to use the anti-king rule at this point. I do see something, just a classic Sudoku deduction here though. I have 2 7s. That rules 7 out of these cells. This 7 rules 7 out of that cell, so that's going to be a 7. And I do know now that there's a 7 in one of those, but whatever, let's just leave that. I see these 1s looking into this region and eliminating 1 from those cells, so 1's going to be in one of those. That's also true of 7, interestingly. This is actually a hidden pair, because 7 can't go in these cells either because of these 2 7s. So that is a 1-7 hidden pair. And by hidden, I just mean that, so a naked pair would be if you were looking at those 2 cells and you said the only digits allowed to go in those cells are 1 and 7, which isn't true. There are loads of different digits that could go in those cells in theory. But a hidden pair is kind of the inverse of that, where for both of those digits, those are the only cells where you can possibly put them. And therefore you know that those are exactly which 2 digits have to go in those 2 cells. So what do we still need in this region then? Can we follow up on this? We need 2, 3, 8, and 9. And this can't be 3, 8, or 9. 9 by king, and also 3 and 8 in the row. So that's a 2. And this can't be a 3 because of the 3 here. Interesting. I have 2's there and there now, so that rules 2 out of these cells in the central region, and this 2 rules 2 out of this cell by anti-king, so this is now going to be a 2. Now, this 2 takes 2 out of these cells, so I know 2 is in one of those. I don't think that's likely to be useful, just because like I don't really have much in the way of cells that touch both of those. But we'll just leave that there, just in case it ends up being useful later. So what's going to be more useful then, Clover? Come on, use your brain. What do we have here? Um, this is a tricky one, and I think Philip warned me that this was going to be a tricky one, and this may or may not end up appearing in gas. If it does, I imagine that Philip will give some hints with it. So in the column here, we need 1, 5, and 6. This can't be a 1 because of the 1 there. This can't be a 6 because of the 6 here. This can't be a 1 because of the 1 here. So the only position for 1 in the column is there, which actually does resolve our 1, 7 situation. And so now these two 7s are going to tell me there's a 7 there, but they're not going to give me anything more than that, I don't think. In this region, I still need 3, 5, and 9, right? So there's a 5 there. So 5 isn't there. Ah, and there's a 9 down here, so that's a 3, and that's now going to be a 5, 9 pair. And with these two 3s, I have a hidden 3, 4 pair, because I figured out much earlier that 4 has to go in one of those two cells, and in addition to that, 3 now has to go in one of those two cells. And that does something really useful for us, because we know that those two cells now, we have 2 digits that can only ever go into those two cells. So we know that's got to be exactly 3 and 4 in some order. And what that means crucially here is that those can't contain 2 because they're already full. They have to have 3 and 4, so they can't also have a 2. So 2 goes there. And then this is 5 or 6 to finish the region. So I have one more digit to place here, and that's going to be a 2. And so 2 in region 1 can only go into this position. And that gives me, with my last 2 there, that gives me all of my 2s. So these have to be 1, 5, and 6, and there's a 1 there, so 1 can't go there. There's my 1. And this is now 5 or 6. Do I get anything out of having placed that 1? 1 in this region can only go here. And so 1 in this region can only go there or there, but Antiking keeps me from placing it in this cell. So that's going to be 1, and then there's my very last 1 in the puzzle. We have a couple digits finished off. That's not usually how I solve Sudoku, but we're doing it today. All right, 3 rules 3 out of that cell, so that's going to be a 3. And now I have 2 3s here, so 3 is there, there, or there, but it can't go in this position because of the 3, so one of those is a 3. Those are now 4, 5, 8, or 9, and this can't be a 4, so 4 goes there. And now 4 goes into one of those two cells. These have to be 5, 6, and 9, and the thing to focus on there is that I have to place a 6 in this row somewhere, and it can't go in this position, so it must go here, and that's now either a 5 or a 9. And so 6 now in region 7 is going to go in one of those two cells, but 6 is already part of this 5, 6 pair, so the 6 goes right there. These are going to be 5, 7, 8, 9 in some combination. That can't be a 5. This can't be a 5 because of the 5, 6 pair, and it also can't be a 7. So there's my only position for 5 in column 1. That makes this a 9 and an 8 and resolves this stuff. So now these will be 7 and 8. That's now a 9. And do I get anything up here? Don't think so just yet, but we'll get there. Here I need a 6, 7, and 9. And 6 can't go in that position, so to finish this column I can place a 6 here, which resolves my 5, 6 pair. These will be 5 and 8. These will be 4, 7, and 9, and because I have a 7 and a 9 in this column, that's going to be my 4. I have a 7 in this column, so that'll be my 9. And I could have picked up on that 7 there probably about 1,000,000 years ago. Oh well. We can't always notice everything. So this will be a 9 to finish the row. That makes this an 8 and a 7. I'm grateful to you guys for being kind of kind and accommodating in your comments and not... I notice that sometimes on other channels, commenters will occasionally get pretty aggressive about kind of small mistakes that the solver on camera makes, or you know, just things that they didn't necessarily look at in the most efficient order. And I am very grateful for you guys generally not doing that and for being kind when you point things out. Like, I do understand completely the impulse that makes people want to show that they've figured something out and that they kind of have seen something that even the solver didn't see. But at the same time, as the person doing the solving, that can be genuinely really intimidating. Luckily, I've been doing this for long enough that I have kind of had to get over that discomfort, but you know, it still causes me a little twinge of fear sometimes when I like know I'm missing something and I know that you guys are just screaming. Um, but be patient with me and I will try to do the same with you. So that can't be a 4 because of anti-king. This is resolved because of the column. These will be 3, 4, and 9. So that's not a 4 and 9. That's my 3, 4, and 9 because of the 9 there. This will be a 4. And then let's finish these rows. That's not a 3. That's my 3. That's a 5. And to finish this row, I need a 6 and an 8, which resolve in this direction. And that's how you solve Philip's heart-shaped anti-king. Hope you enjoyed that. Relevant links and rules are in the description of this video. Have a good day.